Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new movie ranking show here on Max Talks Movies. We're stopping and ranking all 5 movies that I saw in the month of February. Welcome to Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Jennifer. If you're new to the channel, I love talking movies, TV shows, box office, and rankings like these. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and ring that bell. If you're also, please comment down below. Let me know what movies did you see in the month of February. Let me know films that I missed that you liked, or films that you really hated that you're happy I did not have to watch in the month of February. Give me your preview. What are your most anticipated movies in the month of March? And please like the video, guys. The thumbs up button. That's how you support this channel. It was not as big of a month as January was, but it's going to start picking up March, April, and then into the summer. So my schedule is now opening up, so I'll be watching more and more movies. So let's start talking about the 5 movies I saw in the month of February. In number 5 is Moonfall. I absolutely hated this movie. It's just not a good movie. Even though I'm a big fan of both really Patrick Wilson and Halle Berry, and John Bradley was also very funny in the role that he is playing. Roland Emmerich continues to prove why these type of films are just not going well. And there's a reason why studios are not funding his big $100 million plus budget films anymore, because they're just all losses. This film absolutely tanked at the box office, will have no shot at making its money back from theaters, at least. And it's just a really bad movie from start to finish. A story that you've kind of seen a billion times, and a story that wants its main cast to be sidelined for big chunks of the film. There's a huge subplot involving our main characters, kids that go absolutely nowhere. The CGI, while good, and some of the main cast is really fun to watch. The plot itself is dumb. It's definitely going to be the dumbest movie I see all year long. Logic is kind of thrown out the window. And the whole last 30 minutes of the film tries to even set up a sci-fi franchise that makes absolutely no sense and tanks whatever the film was going for. So while there's some really dumb fun to have in this movie, it's not good enough to be a guilty pleasure. I just really had a bad time watching Moonfall. Now we get to some above average movies. That was only a below average movie I saw this month. Coming in 4th place is Uncharted. Now, I was expecting this to be a lot worse than it is. It's a fine video game adaptation movie. It's definitely not one of the worst video game movies. It's probably near the top, honestly. Tom Holland is a bona fide movie star who continues to prove that his name is worth a lot these days. Him and Mark Wahlberg, their star part, making this probably a franchise now. But Tom Holland as Nathan Drake was really the only character I was really caring about in the entire film. Tom Holland has this great charisma to him, the likability and relatability that makes him a bona fide movie star for the next, for however long he wants to be acting for. He's really great in the movie. It's also a couple of good supporting performances of Tati Gabrielle and Sophia Ali were very good in their small roles. And the action itself was actually done very well. There were no action scenes like, ooh, that was bad. The actions are actually quite fun. And the movie itself is not a bore to watch. It really does move by very quickly. Some of the issues, of course, I didn't think solely Mark Wahlberg was that great at anything. I'm actually a Wahlberg fan and found myself not laughing at like any of his jokes throughout the film. The villain, Antonio Banderas, didn't have enough to do in the movie to be the quote unquote villain. And because there's, other than Nathan Drake, everyone else is like a very mischievous threat who likes to turn on their friends quickly. It kind of leaves Nathan Drake as the only good person in the entire movie, which is kind of tough in a movie where he's basically trying to team up with Wahlberg, Sully the whole time. But overall, I had a fine time. It's not a good movie. It's not a bad movie. I just thought it was an okay film to see in theaters. We're going to go to 3rd place right now. And this is a really tough one for me between these 2 films, but I ended up going with number 3, going with Marry Me. Now I'm on the way more, it seems like, positive side to this film. This film's not getting a ton of press. It's not doing great in theaters. It's obviously currently available on Peacock, where I watched it. But I was shocked how much I really enjoyed Marry Me. The chemistry between Jennifer Lopez and Owen Wilson was really great, especially the relatability of Wilson. The gender swap role of Lopez being the person who is the singer, and Wilson being the average dude, as they say, and Wilson kind of wanting to be, and both of them wanting to be in each other's lives. I actually really enjoyed their dynamic together. It was a nice reversal. I really enjoyed the first two acts. I do think where the film kind of falls apart for being a great movie is really the last 25 minutes of the movie. I was shocked how much there wasn't a horror main cliche that was happening, but the last 25 minutes feels like the movie needs a forced breakup. So instead of in general, they could stay together the whole movie to do a forced breakup to set up some tension in the movie, and for Lopez to be the rich person trying to figure out how to get to Wilson in her own way. I just didn't really love the third act of the movie. Also, Sarah Silverman felt completely unnecessary as the comic relief as one of Wilson's friends. I found her not funny whatsoever. But overall, I had a really good time watching Marry Me. Coming in second place this month is Kimi, the new HBO Max film that critics are really high on, but audiences have not been the highest fans. I'm actually a person who didn't love the movie, but I had a really good time watching this film. It's a tight hour, 30 minutes, which is really a character-driven sci-fi film about Zoe Kravitz playing this character who, during the pandemic, she's an agoraphobic tech worker who works for this Kimi, which is like a Google Home or Amazon Alexa. So those type of things. And she finds that something disturbing happens on one of her recordings that she's going through, and she wants to get it done. But this one has some surprisingly really fun action to it. While tonally the action does not fit the actual tone of the movie, I had a really good time with the action scenes. Zoe Kravitz, who I'll be seeing this upcoming week, as most of us will be seeing as Catwoman and Batman. But this is a really great performance, and without her really driving this film from a character point of view, this movie would not have worked. Also, it's really well directed from Soderbergh. The colors, the efficiency of the film is also a huge standout to me. My issue, I didn't think there was enough to do with the supporting cast. She kind of has a love interest who she looks at across the window. Wasn't a big fan of it. The movie at times for being 90 minutes, the first act is really slow, and you kind of feel like the first 20, 25 minutes, nothing really happens. And the villains are way too one-note. You kind of get introduced to the villains early on. I think if the villains had a more compelling threat or were more personal to Kravitz's character, it would have been added more. You just never felt like Angela was in danger in the entire movie. But it's a really fun little 90-minute film on HBO Max. So if you haven't checked it out yet, I would check it out. If you're a Zoe Kravitz fan, I would check it out. Soderbergh continues to deliver these streaming movies the past couple of years at very quick rates. But this is one of his better ones in the past couple of years. And coming in first place, who would have thought I would be saying this? Jackass Forever for me comes in at number one. I was the first movie I saw in the month, and I had a great time in the theaters. Obviously, I'm a Jackass fan. Really, my whole life. The first part, the series and the first film came out before I was born, but here we are 20 years or so later from the original MTV show and the film. It's getting the fourth and more likely final film in the Jackass movie saga. I had a great time in theaters. It's 90 minutes, and the reason why is that certainly as a critic right now, it's tough to go into a movie and have to think about everything and try to break it down for you guys. But this was a great movie where I didn't have to think about plot, didn't have to think about character. I can just watch 90 minutes of these friends having fun together in the most dangerous things, making me laugh and cringe for 90 minutes straight. Some jokes for me, there were some instances that felt very unnecessary, but a couple of them got me dying laughing. A couple of them I had to turn away for a second. There's some really cringeworthy stuff, but also so I was dying laughing for huge chunks of the film. Watching this in a big audience was a lot of fun. Watching this with a crowd makes it so much more entertaining. I think this will do well once it goes on Paramount Plus or rental, because I think Jackass Forever is a really fun movie. Great to see the gang back together. And again, I just had an absolute blast with this film. So that's my ranking in order from 5 to 1. Moonfall coming in at number 5, Uncharted coming in at number 4, Marry Me at number 3, Kimi at number 2, and Jackass Forever coming in at number 1. That's my movie rankings of the month of February. Did I miss any? Tell me, is your ranking completely different from mine? Let me know in the comment section down below. Subscribe and ring the bell. More videos are coming down the line. A lot of videos this week. Tomorrow, you'll have my box office breakdown show. You'll also get my season 2 finale spoiler review of Euphoria, as well as on Tuesday, you're going to get my review of season 2 of The Righteous Gemstones. Then on Wednesday, new Netflix movie, good review for you guys on Wednesday. The Batman review for this channel, my most anticipated film of the year, will be on Thursday. And then Friday, you should be getting my season 1 review of The After Party on Apple TV Plus. So a lot of reviews are coming down the line. So please subscribe and ring the bell, and I'll see you guys very soon.